What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. Billy Porter says, quote, "You've starved me out," end quote. He says he's lost his house due to the actor strike and writer strike that's currently going on in Hollywood. So, according to a new interview with Evening Standard, he's said that he was forced to sell his house. He's speaking on his music and his theater career. He touched on the now month-long strike by the Actors Union, and he says that along with the writers, everything in Hollywood has come to a halt. He says, "quote I have to sell my house, yeah, because we're on strike, and I don't know when we're going to go back. The life of an artist until you make FU money, which I haven't made yet, is still check to check," end quote. The Emmy-winning Poe star said that he was supposed to begin filming a new show and movie in September, which is now indefinitely delayed. He says none of that is happening. So, to the person who said we're going to starve them out until they have to sell their apartments, yeah, you've already starved me out. He referred to a Deadline article published in July, which was anonymous executives, and they said that the end game for the studios was to allow the strike to drag on until the members began to lose their apartments and their homes. Just a sidebar, that is so evil. I mean, I understand that, um, no, I can't. I can't even. I was going to try to say I understand that they want power because they're executives, but no, I can't. Because when your employees in any leadership position, right, your subordinates, those who are under you, if they're suffering, ultimately you're going to suffer too. That's going to not only reflect badly on you as a leader, and I don't care what industry you're in, Hollywood or not. um, Treat those who are more vulnerable than you with dignity and respect. For them to say, because they know that their money is long and they've granted themselves these huge, $1 million bonuses that really, in my opinion, they really haven't sweat or earned any of it. Um, they've made all this money on the backs of these actors and their labor, their gifts, their talents. And for them to say we're going to starve them out, that's evil. and Disney Plus was just talking about raising their prices. So is all that money going to Bob Iger? Eager, whatever his name is. Eager should be his last name because he's eager to pocket the money that he hasn't earned. What are you raising your prices for? We're not getting new content. You're not paying your writers. You're not paying your actors. You're not paying Mickey Mouse. Not to mention Disney, their money is long. One of the descendants of Disney, I forget her first name, but of course, her last name is Disney. She says we have too much money. Hold on, I'm about to look it up real quick just because I'm curious. Hold on, 1 second. Okay, her name is Abigail Disney, and she's the granddaughter of Roy Disney, who was the co-founder of the Walt Disney Company. Okay, so Abigail Disney says there is such a thing as too much money. And she has donated over $70 million in the past 30 years because she was born into, this massive wealth. And she says that she feels that we should have a wealth tax. She speaks out against income inequality. That's what's up. She said we should tax the wealthy because she has too much money. She's absolutely right. But her and Mackenzie Bezos, the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, Mackenzie has donated a lot of money too. I feel like there's two types of rich people. Those who recognize their wealth and their privilege and they try to help others, or those are like these executives talking about how they're gonna, starve people out, which is, see, stuff like that. I really believe in the law of reaping and sowing. When whatever you put out, you get back. You do. The law of sowing and reaping, and because I'm a Christian, Buddhist, they call it karma. Same thing, 2 plus 2 is 4. 3 plus 1 is 4. You know what I mean? You can call it whatever you want to. What you put out, you get back. What you reap, you will sow. If you plant a tomato seed, you're not going to get strawberries. You know what I mean? Like an apple tree can't bear oranges and vice versa. These executives, they think that because their money is long, that doesn't protect them from their own consequences. I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Moving right along with the article, the Tony winner also criticized, we were just talking about Disney, criticized Disney CEO Bob Iger, who called the demands by striking actors and writers unrealistic. So he called their demands unrealistic. This dude is something else, man. He says, quote, in the late 50s and early 60s, when they structured a way for artists to be compensated properly through residual payments, it allowed for the 2% of working actors, and there were 150,000 people in our union who worked consistently. And then streaming came in. See, he's right. When streaming came in, like Netflix and stuff, that changed the game. Billy says there's no contract for it. Oh, I didn't know that. See, learn something new every day. He says they don't have to be transparent with the numbers. It's not like Nielsen ratings anymore. Just a quick side note. Y'all remember Squid Game, the hugely popular show that came from South Korea about, ironically, impoverished people competing for money? They said that they didn't get any residuals, and they said that Netflix was being really stingy and didn't pay their actors very well. And that was the biggest show that they had. That I think that beat out Bridgerton when it came out. Netflix, okay, Netflix, y'all keep playing. You're gonna end up like Blockbuster. You thought that you was being funny, taking all the customers away from Blockbuster and shutting them down. Keep it up. Disney too. But go ahead. Let me find my place. I'm saying go ahead like I'm not the one reading. The streaming companies are notoriously opaque with their viewership figures. The business has evolved, so the contract has to evolve and change, period. And to hear Bob Iger say that our demands for a living wage are unrealistic while he makes $78,000 a day. Wait, not a day. See, nobody needs $78,000 a day. I'm sorry. Abigail Disney's right. There needs to be a wealth tax on billionaires. Billy goes, I don't have any words for it, but blank you. He added, directed at Iger. He says, that's not useful, so I've kept my mouth shut. And I haven't engaged because I'm so enraged. When I go back, I will join the picket lines. And in an interview with CNBC's Squawk Box in July, Iger said that the decision by the actors and writers unions to go on strike was, quote, very disturbing to me. Sure it was. I'm sure it was, your greedy self. He says, we've talked about disruptive forces on this business and all the challenges we're facing, the recovery from COVID, which is ongoing, and it's not completely back. Oh, side note, y'all, COVID is on the rise, so please take care of yourselves out there. He says, this is the worst time in the world to add to that disruption. We've managed as an industry to negotiate a very good deal, says you, with the Directors Guild that reflects the value that he's talking about the directors, not the writers and the actors, that they contribute to this great business. We wanted to do the same thing with the writers, and we like to do the same thing with the actors. There's a level of expectation that they have that's just not realistic. Not you making $78,000 a day talking about unrealistic. If you don't have all the folding chairs and several seats, my goodness gracious. Who was the one who said Ron Perlman when he was talking about his house? Which I'm glad he walked that back because you don't want to, get yourself in trouble. But this level of disparity, income disparity and wealth disparity, it can't, and to hear him say that they're being unrealistic, because these people don't even want 1% of the profits. Like if I saw the breakdown is they're asking for like 0.4% or something like that. Like they just want they want to make enough. I think it's like they said $26,000 a year allows actors to get health insurance, and a lot of actors don't earn enough to make that 26 G's so that they can get health insurance. That's not unrealistic, Bob. You need to sit down. Oh, here's Fran Dresser. She says she's the president of SAG. She says the companies have refused to meaningfully engage on some topics, and others have completely stonewalled us. So until they do negotiate in good faith, we cannot begin to reach a deal. We have no choice but to move forward in unity in behalf of our membership with a strike recommendation to our national board. Good. Yeah. Fran, and I know Fran's money is long because the nanny, her and her ex-husband wrote it. But I'm glad that she's fighting for, the little guy. Like she's, sticking up for the actors who don't have the longevity that Fran Drescher and others have. So I feel bad for Billy Porter, man. I hope he, lands on his feet. Maybe he's earned a Tony on Broadway, so hopefully he can get some Broadway gigs. Or are they? I guess they would be on strike too, huh? I don't know. Maybe he could do something else, like something to do online. Start a YouTube channel. Billy, and I'm serious. I mean, he's a talented, singer actor. Maybe he can create his own shows outside of Hollywood, Anyway, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I know a lot of people were, was like lighting him up, saying that it sounds like mismanagement of funds. But I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it. So please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk with you later. Take care, Aces. Bye.